What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Wide Body Nation. We've got the last mod before we put the JB4 on and tune the car, and that is the Perrin charge pipe on here. And it's really trying to minimize restriction because I'm going to show you guys the part we took off, and it necks down very, very small. So this is before the tune. It's just going to help us ideally lower intake air temperatures, kind of have that top mount intercooler from ETS work a little bit more efficiently. But when Tommy goes ahead and tunes it, it's going to go ahead and help us obviously maximize airflow through the whole intake part of the cycle. So I have the old part right here, and you guys can see how much it necks down, because obviously up here, it's, you know, that's probably almost 2.5 inch, it's probably 2-inch piping up there. But here, I mean, that's down to borderline, like, I mean, obviously this is big right here, but then it necks way down. So here is the charge pipe. You guys can see it goes down there. I'll probably go grab a light for you guys. But ironically, this is also the part off of the 2018 Forester, and they're doing the exact same modification to that right now. And they're also replacing the top mount intercooler after 130,000 miles. With a Perrin top mount intercooler. So I'm gonna grab one of these lights. Adrian, I'm gonna steal it back for the, I just couldn't get quite a good view.
We did that because Adrian was losing them, and now you can literally see.
Yeah, how many did I leave on their car?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so I got the light, and you guys can see here that the charge pipe, the Perrin one, first of all, it replaces a lot of these crappy weird clamps here. You guys see this kind of like, I think Adrian said it's more BMW style, what Subaru's using. Now we have just a nice normal clamping system right here, and then it goes down. And I mean, obviously it necks down right here, but it's much less of a restriction than the prior one. So that goes basically right into the top mount here. And then obviously we have the ETS cold air intake right here with the, you know, with the box to section it off to actually prevent that heat. That is our last mod before the JB4, and then we are going to go ahead and give you guys some driving impressions today, just to see if what's probably more for sound than it is for performance. But we're going to do a quick startup, get some revs, and then head out on the road. Alright guys, so we're back in the 2022 WRX as usual. Got to do the driving impressions after we do a modification. So I just went to get gas, and I don't know if it's just because I'm coming out of the S209, which is obviously more modified than this, but I mean, this car just feels really smooth. Makes some fun noises. Those are definitely more FA20 noises or FA24 noises. Got our TPMS. But the charge pipe, I feel like without a tune, if you have the intake, if you have a top mount intercooler on there like the ETS one, I don't know if there's anyone else who's come out with one yet, but pretty cool mod. I think it was like, what, 200 bucks or something online. So I'm curious to see once we have the JB4 hooked up to this thing, like what kind of AFRs are running before we tinker with anything, because obviously we don't have an access port or anything on here to monitor what's going on. So I'm curious to see how the mods have affected or not affected the AFRs and some of our other metrics that we would be concerned about. We currently are creeping up on 4,000 miles. About 2,500 of those have been with most of the modifications. I'll do a quick full pull here. I think the intake's the best mod, personally, just because it sounds so funny, or not funny, but fun, I guess. Nice C6 Corvette rolling by. Good day for that. CarPlay is acting up as usual. I have told you guys about that in the videos before, but Subaru CarPlay and my phones, they do not get along as it turns out. Let's see if I unlock the phone. Nope, still doesn't want to play ball. Roll by the old shop and then head back to the new shop. Kind of warm in here. Alrighty. What is this? Third gear pull. I mean, that was only up to 4,000 RPM and it sounds pretty good. So, does the charge pipe make a huge difference right now? I'd say maybe. I have no way to monitor intake air temperatures, so I can't really tell you guys if that's true or not. But once we have the JB4, which Tommy is going to be installing this week with Adrian, we'll let you know. Obviously E85 will probably be about an E30 blend. That'll help things out too as far as staying cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I guess I would say I would recommend the charge pipe. The install, I mean, you were there for the install, right, Anthony?
Yeah.
Yeah, not a terrible install,
No,
was it?
not at all.
No, and Tommy's got a pretty detailed video of Anthony and Adrian installing it on his channel. So if you guys are wondering how to do that, I think it's also useful just because they swapped out some of those weird, like Adrian calls them BMW clamps, like those weird connectors. I know the first time he was trying to get those off when we did the top mount, it was a real pain in the butt.
Yeah, they can be tricky.
Because that plastic is like real tight, and then I feel like over time plastic gets brittle too. So I'd be worried about messing with that if I. We got to take it right at some point, I think, right? So pop back down to Tommy's.
Yeah.
Second gear pull. Used to that pickup point in the 209 now. The clutch in this is really forgiving now. It doesn't really jerk you around. But I was saying on the way out, this car is so much less rowdy than the EJ as far as like noise and really the noise aspect of it. Like if this car has an ETS Extreme catback on it, with no mufflers, no resonators, or I think it might have one resonator that's like under here on the mid pipe. If you did that on an EJ, you would be drone city, really loud, really raspy. So these FA24s, obviously equal length headers, and then the turbo is like right under there. They just seem a lot smoother. A lot of people call these like Honda Civics and stuff like that. And I don't necessarily disagree. I mean, the transmission's a lot more buttery, less notchy. So, not really related to the charge pipe, but definitely a smooth ride. So, appreciate y'all for tuning in. We're going to be throwing the install video up on my channel as well, so that you guys have two different ways of watching it, just to make sure it gets out there to everybody. But I appreciate y'all tuning in. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys in the next video.